this is like a multi. If you're
Yeah.
trying to fix everything problem in every school in one single
Not
municipal,
well,
you
yeah,
talk about.
no, not every school. I was just like thinking of your
So
because I'm just
but that all
rusty.
right, cool. But that's the one. And then how do you pick a school? And when you talk about how does the donations work, now is why I'm trying. I was making sure you understood how it all works down all the way from
Oh
tax
no, I
brackets to
already
local
know all
schools.
this.
Well, if
I
you
already
do
know
that,
how it
then that's what I
works.
mean with donations. Then because if you look at a county like mine that has 14 high schools in it, the school I work in is an anomaly within the 14 and deals with very different problems than the other 13. My school is a very impoverished school. However, there are schools within my school system where kids are products of like 7-figure fucking homes. So if their school and our school are in the exact same county, no county or government or grant is going to give us the money. But now, if then we came out and said truthfully, hey, this is why we're closed and these schools are falling down, we need donations. One school on one side would get enough donations and would be fixed. My school would be the exact fucking same as before. Donations could never and would never be a solution to this amount of a problem because even my school, that would be at least a 7-figure plus solution to fix every fucking thing. That's why they're trying to pick the most essential right now and just fix the most crisis driven one to make it even fucking, can we make it to May 20th and get to the end of the year and figure out survival for next year and blah, 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 blah. You would be bleeding fucking blood from a stone if you think the Richmond community or any greater of Richmond community on our side of the tracks could pay or donate just for that alone. That's just not how it works or ever
Well, I
has
was
worked.
not even talking about from your perspective. I just wanted an estimate of what because you work in there, and I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know the schools. I don't know your place and
But
shit.
nah, but it's also
Like,
like it's larger. It's a larger city enough that it's not like the school. You feel me? Like there's every city or every county around here has like 10 to 15 schools, have high schools, has at least like 30 to 40 of the middle schools, and then has anywhere from like 60 to 100 elementary schools.
all right, yeah. Well, I mean, that's yeah, different and shit. But I just know if I had money, well, I guess I couldn't donate
Oh,
to
bro,
you guys, but
if
I
I
would
had
make
the
my
bread
own
and could snap
school.
my fingers,
Shit,
I would
I would make my own
100%.
school here. Like, I'm
That would be
wondering how
that.
much
I mean,
that'll
yeah,
estimate
don't.
to.
I, to make your own school in a public sector,
Thank you.
it
That's
wouldn't
exactly
happen.
what. Yeah.
It,
Even
it
if it
wouldn't.
could.
But
Well, we don't. I'm just
this is
talking
what we
about
put it
an
like this.
estimate.
No. That's what we here. Listen to me. There is no estimate to put your own school within a public sector.
A
But if you were
building
trying to do
that is that.
alternative, listen to me, because there's three different variations of it. I'm telling you, because I know people who have done this. I know people who have started their own schools. It's just the idea of having a school like my school houses 2,500 students. To have a public sector school that has 2,500 that is independently owned would only be possible under a private sector and would cost like a ridiculous, like a couple hundred mil type of thing.
Okay.
However, what most people then do is an alternative school or things of that nature that then focuses on different mental health things where it's either
Mhm.
specific, we help a very specific mental health section, or a very broad, and you get in, and that's
Okay,
when it
like
comes down to
skills. It's kind of like
and
we. All right.
yes and no, but yeah, more or less, yes.
All
And
right.
so then when it comes to paying and budgeting and estimate of that, it would depend on what specifically that is, because that would vary greatly. And then that would then depend on whether you do something small that houses like a 10 to 15 student small program you run independently, pay out independently, you would get loans and things, and ultimately would be $100 to like $300,000 fucking
Mhm.
investment type of thing. Or if you were doing a slightly larger alternative school type of thing, then most likely you have board of investors that run similarly to like a school board, but is a very independently ran, because they also run with all the budget finances and
Mhm.
XYZ, and it's who you accumulate for that. And that would be anywhere usually from $1 to $3 million, depending on the programming. Um, and that's also, but then where it becomes a very very fine line between bleeding hard, I want to do well, and I'm just giving far extremes. Bleeding hard, I want to do well, versus money grubbing, and I'm gonna squeeze it for every penny I can. Is
Mhm.
people will incorporate the alternative setting of kids, usually where behavior issues have been kicked out of other public sectors, as well as group homes, and oftentimes then you culminate the
Yeah.
two, and their group
Fuck,
home will
dude.
be on the alternative school setting.
Yep.
And then what you deal with, and where the systemic oppressive nature then takes its roots there oftentimes, is like one of the group homes or alternative schools I had family working at in Richmond a few years back. The motherfucker who was the principal of that shit would have mostly white kids not from the city who were sexual sex
Yep.
offenders and had
Mhm.
predator past brought in, because he got paid more money for each kid that was housed there.
Yeah, I
But
know
then he
this. Oh
also would
God.
say it's more docile and easier to deal with, because
Yep.
he's ignorant as to the blah 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 all the other shit, right?
Mhm.
So then you have kids that are in the few places in Richmond